Hello and welcome back to Shokuho, and we are now at war against the Miyoshi. Now, I did not do this. I'm just gonna leave that out there as a disclaimer straight away, because as you can see, the Miyoshi themselves decided to declare war on us, and that means that I am now going to be launching a siege against the town that I had a pretty clear preference for, which is indeed Amagiri. Now, I have called for an army, which is really, really good. This was basically perfect timing, pretty much. Basically allows me to have some significant strength under our command, and we're going to be able to use it, hopefully, to really, really good effect. There's also another army under command by Yajiro, and hopefully he's going to be doing a pretty good job as time goes on. Obviously, we're going to need them to be very, very powerful here, because this is not really the strongest siege, but no doubt there are going to be some in the future that will be extremely, extremely difficult. Thankfully, this one, not so much. And, oh yeah, by the way, I just have to say, this horse, purebred Onikaga, this one is an insane upgrade from our previous horse. I actually got this in the previous episode and I didn't mention it, so I just wanted to mention that right now, just so you know. And yeah, it's really, really nice. It does so much more damage, and it is so much faster than the previous one we were using, and I really very much appreciate it. It really does make a huge difference. Actually, very surprising that it makes so much of a difference, because you normally not think that, right? You know, it's a minor upgrade, all intents and purposes, but it is so good. Sometimes these guns, they're very annoying to play against sometimes. As you can see right there. Alright, so what we're going to do is, because I have my battering ram and all that wonderful stuff, and we literally have 2,600 troops, I am actually going to auto-resolve this. Now, usually I would say never ever auto-resolve, because it is fundamentally just not very... I mean, it's much better to auto-resolve in Bannerlord than it was in Warband, but let's just say that it's not recommended. Let's just say that. It's not recommended to do that, but I am going to do that here just purely because I died from that gunshot, and I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed by it, you know? I'm annoyed. So I'm going to destroy these guys with an auto-resolve, and then we're going to move on to somewhere else. I do actually have to... no, apparently I'm not going to be able to purchase any additional food or anything like that. Apparently that is not the way at the moment, which is actually quite funny. And let's actually just get rid of some of this stuff here. There we go. Very nice. Okay. So, yeah, so now that we have a significant army, this is what we're currently facing. So you can see here that obviously they have Osaka, they have Sakai, and indeed they have this castle over here, which I would like to take. I think this would be fantastic. For some reason, the exhaustion has already reached 41, which is really very surprising. I was not expecting that in any way. They really want to give this to me for some reason. I will accept it. I don't know why, to be honest, but yeah, there you go. Alright, and I am going to literally just give it to someone else. We're going to gift it to, yeah, these guys, I guess. There we go. Alright, fantastic. So, yeah, now we just need to keep an eye on our cohesion. That is going to be the biggest point of contention here, because if our cohesion runs out, we lose the ability to command all of our troops. I'm actually going to be dismissing these guys from the army here because they need to go and restore their forces just a little bit. And they may be able to run down a couple of skirmishy kind of battles in the area. Maybe try and take out a couple of the lower tier vassals, or shall we say slightly lower strength vassals. And then we'll see what happens with them. Yajiro, as you can see, is traveling to Takayama Castle because they want to besiege that, which is great. And I love when the AI does that. I really, really do. Okay, here we go. This is where we have the opportunity to go in here. 7 days worth of food. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to wait for the food. All right, I'm not going to wait for the food to be, you know, to be depleted or anything like that. We are just going to go straight on in, just purely because we have a decisive numbers advantage. If I were to wait, I think it would be way too long. I personally think it would be way too long. And we're going to just wait until the siege is done. There we go. All right, and let's make our way in. Now, I'm actually going to do a little bit of a different thing here. Obviously, as you saw in the previous siege, it is not a good idea to go into the castle or into the town or whatever first. And we did find this out in a previous siege, but I was apparently an idiot, and so I did that this time for some reason. And so we've already made our way in through the central gate. Now we do have to be a little bit aware of the fact that there are going to be gunners here. As we know, there are going to be gunners, and we do need to be... Oh no, yeah, let's be a little bit careful here. Okay, I'm a little bit worried. Okay, I'm a little bit worried because obviously you've seen how extreme the damage can be from gunners, especially when they get you in the head. If they shoot you in the body and not in the face, you are less likely to die instantly. Not impossible, but yeah, less likely. And so yeah, I should probably... I mean, it seems like most of these guys are bowmen, but I should probably be a little bit careful about that. Nevertheless, once again, very cool environments to go through here. Absolutely love it. Extremely, extremely fun sieges. And indeed, we are, I believe, actually looking really, really good right now. Surprisingly enough, I'm not sure why there are so few gunners in and around the area. But apparently, maybe they're waiting. I don't know. Maybe they're waiting at the very end to shoot me in the face at that point. I don't know. They seem to wait around corners. That seems to be where they primarily are, which is quite funny in itself. Because you'd think that gunners would want to be, you know, giving themselves the most range possible, but for some reason I've never actually really experienced that much. I don't know. Kind of weird. Anyway, let's just try to kill these. These guys mostly have bows. This guy's a gunner. Let's take him out. Thank you. Yeah, not bad, not bad. All right. That is looking real good. And I'm thinking, actually, you know what? Is this an alternate route? Oh, hello. No, wait a minute. No. This is just another place for the archers. Oh, very interesting. Okay, I've got to be a bit careful here because I don't know whether there are any gunners. So let's just be slightly cautious. Gonna use these guys' own bodies as protection, basically, as you know. That's a very basic strategy. Pretty much a thing that, you know, people have been doing since Warband. And it's very, very effective. Thankfully, the AI is a little bit too stationary to adapt to such a strategy, so it's really nice in that regard. But yeah, there's also very many moments where you can still be killed, but it's okay. We're fine. Look at that. We're actually seemingly just completely destroying these opponents right here. I'm actually kind of wondering what the majority of our forces... Who's getting all the kills? You know, that's the question that I have right here. Who's getting all the kills? Because from my perspective, I am unsure because I don't know what kind of units my vassals actually field. That's the funny thing. I actually have no idea because they should technically be fielding Saikai units, but obviously I'm not entirely sure if that is indeed the fact of the matter. Nice damage. Oh, cutting through every single one. That is wonderful. Love it. And that is indeed a victory for us right there. I actually got 246 kills. 246, that's pretty... actually, wait, no. Never mind. No, I didn't get 246. My party got 246. I got 149. Yeah, I thought that was a little bit strange for me to get so many in such a short siege, but there you go. All right, so let me actually just see, because it looks as though a lot of the Ashigarus, the Sea Raider archers. My own forces were primarily samurai marksmen getting the kills. Okay. Kind of a weird smattering of units here and there. So yeah, very, very strange. But yeah, anyway, let's go into the keep. Don't have to auto-resolve it technically this time because I'm not dead. So, you know, it's pretty nice. And indeed, we do get to see some very, very cool new environments. Oh, what a nice... Oh, that was a nice thrust right there. Love that. Anytime I can get a really precise, accurate thrust against some opponents, especially when the thrust double penetrates, I absolutely adore that. That is extremely, extremely fun. Very, very satisfying to actually have two men get penetrated immediately by your thrust. It is extremely, extremely cool when that happens. That's the reason why, you know, Shokuho is definitely doing the business when it comes to basically the combat satisfaction, you know, basically allowing you to really have that feeling that you are indeed having a high proficiency level in combat. It's so fun in that regard. Anyway, let's move on. Alright, so we're going to go into the largest siege that we've had in this entire series so far. 1,226 troops in the garrison here, and indeed, I didn't have time. There's way too much food in the garrison here. There's 18 days worth. I don't really want to wait the 18 days, so we are going to do this the old-fashioned way. The very old-fashioned way by going in here, and this is one of the classic siege layouts as well. Going to be very, very interesting whether we're actually even going to be able to do this. Much remains to be seen here. I'm not sure whether we'll have the opportunity. Nice. Oh, I can't believe I actually made that headshot right there. That is pretty cool. And now maybe I can shoot that guy. There we go. Basically, I'm just trying to kill any gunners that I can see, if it's even possible for me to do that. Bear in mind, these guys actually do outnumber us right now. They do technically outnumber our forces, because we have about 1,000, and they have 1,200. So, might be a bit awkward. Wow, we've already, oh, I see. Okay. We've already gotten through the gate, and we were not even bothering to raise the ladders or anything like that. Okay, a little bit of a strange situation there, but okay. I guess we'll roll with it. Yes, we will roll with it for now. And indeed, whoa, nice block, sir. Nice block. I certainly wasn't expecting that. Now it really remains to be seen what the best strategy for this particular location in the siege is. Do we want to tell our forces to hold position over here? I think that is actually what we will do. And I'm very intrigued to see how this really works, because it might pay off and or it might be terrible. I actually don't know. I'm going to assume that it will be pretty decent, at least initially, and then we might have to change strategy midway through. Let's see what happens. This is definitely one of the riskier things that we've had to do for some reason. I don't know why these guys are not shooting back at these fellows over here, but I guess there's a gunner there as well. I've got to be careful of that guy. Yeah, there's a gunner right here. There we go, kill him. Another one. Wow, okay, 2 of them. 3. Wow, 4 even. Okay, not exactly great. And there's a guy up there too? Oh, I didn't even realize. Okay, let me try and reload. I'm going to try to kill this guy. He's otherwise just going to continue firing at us and being a huge pain. But thankfully, he's dead now. Okay, here we go. We should be fine. Question is... Okay, let's actually charge now. Yeah, this is good. I think this is pretty decent. Just very much depends on if I get shot in the face. That's all that really matters here at this point. Oh, got shot right in the face. I was really hoping that I'd be able to... Man, oh, the gates. The gates were already down. The gates were already down. Okay, well, very, very sad indeed. However, let's actually see what happens. We might have a pretty good opportunity here. It just very much depends. I mean, look at the amount that we're actually killing right now. Look at this. We have a significant advantage. Our forces are doing massively much more damage than the opponent. Unfortunately, the opponent is now getting the opportunity to reinforce their lines, which is what we've indeed tried to avoid this entire time. Very, very sad indeed that we got shot in that particular situation. That was really very unlucky there. All right, I'm gonna retreat because I think that's probably the best course of action. We did eliminate a huge amount of people, and bear in mind that obviously because of this... Oh. Okay. It crashed. Alright, so I made it all the way here with taking very minimal damage just because I've actually waited a significant amount of time to let my forces go forward before I get there. So I'm being a lot more cowardly this time, and well, as you can clearly tell, it is indeed paying off. Unfortunately, it's not really the way I like to play. I like to be at the front, you know, I like to be slashing away and trying to do as much damage as possible, having a whale of a time with my wonderful Nodachi here. But it is more effective in regards to the overall success of the siege, potentially. Obviously, it very much depends. There's a number of reasons why you would want to survive here, most notably because the player character is of course able to eliminate and indeed exterminate mass amounts of enemies. And you can see that right here before your very eyes, of course. So yeah, the point is I am gonna try to get the gate down. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna go in there first. I'm gonna let my forces go in and die, basically, because that's generally what I tend to do most of the time first anyway, you know, because they all have guns or whatever. I'm going to obviously stand here and try to do some damage, but it has proven to be much better to just wait in the back, basically, and that's not really, as I say, that's not really what I like to do, because I feel like that is very... I mean, right now we're having fun, right? But you know, waiting at the back is not that fun. Let's just say that, you know. It is not that fun, and I personally don't like doing that. But we are alive, and I guess that's what matters, right? We are alive, so I guess that's what we'll try to do in the future, even though it does take a lot more time. Now, I am going to go in here first here, at this point, because there are a lot of bodies in between me and potential death. So I am just going to do this, and we'll see if we can maybe make something happen. Yep, it's working very, very nicely. Oh, what? Who shot me? Did you see that? Who actually shot me right there? Okay. Well, that's interesting. I certainly wasn't expecting that. Okay, well, we're probably going to die now, which is unfortunate, but I'm hopeful that that is, hopefully, maybe going to be is it enough? Is it enough what I did? I'm actually not sure. Okay, where are my forces, by the way? Where are they? Because I'm the only one here. This is the reason why I'm dying right now. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we helped out our forces. Now, hilariously enough, I actually lived through that, if you can believe it. I personally can't. But yeah. Okay, so how are we doing? How are we doing? Okay, so as you can see, we've now eliminated 600. That is basically 50% of the enemy's garrison. And I just died from some random shot to the face when I was in amongst all of my people. Alright. Well, that's not exactly great. I don't think that's going to lead us to a victory, unfortunately. I was kind of hopeful that we'd be able to make our way over to all of these enemies. I would very easily be able to slaughter all of them. But obviously, random shot to the face, you know, takes care of me. Alright, so we have a situation, and a decision, indeed, to make. So, what do we want to do? If we continue our siege preparations, I am almost 100% certain these vassals outside are going to be coming in, and they're going to try to attack us. However, if we do an auto-resolve, and we may, in fact, get lucky and actually be able to do it, I mean, obviously, we have a pretty big disparity in the power levels here, but there's always the chance that you're going to get surprised. I've had a number of cases like that in the past. We're going to put a point in tactics now, finally. Been a while since I've been meaning to do that. Let's put another point in intelligence here, because I do want to level up my medicine skills some more. Okay, let's do it. Yep, there we go. Okay, we did suffer a couple of casualties, but that's okay. Not too bad. 152 renown for us, pretty insane, and 208 influence. I believe I'm actually going to be leveling up my clan tier pretty soon. I did take a look at my clan tier recently, and we look to be doing pretty nicely in that regard. So hopefully we'll get lucky. Maybe. Maybe we'll get lucky, who knows? And indeed, I'm going to be recruiting a huge amount of prisoners from our prisoners' hold. This is exactly the reason why I absolutely love that. And yeah, we're otherwise just going to take all the loot here. No real reason not to. And we'll show mercy here. I am going to claim the fief because I actually feel like what I should do is make a new vassal. Yes. Make a new vassal, and then they're going to be... Oh, hello. Look at this insane fief right now. Look at this. It's completely... No, that's insane. Wow. Okay, yeah, it is completely built up. All tier 3. All tier 3 improvements. That is extremely rare to see. At least for me. I don't know. I haven't really seen that much. Usually the AI is a bit slow when it comes to that kind of thing. Sometimes they do it, other times not so much. But yeah, otherwise, here we go. And look, boom. Immediately back up to full strength. Absolutely fantastic. Love that. Now, I do want to make a new vassal. So what I'm going to do is we'll go into the camp. Actually, you know what? First of all, I am going to save because I'm a little bit worried about crashes. Sometimes I get... I don't know why it crashes. Sometimes it's just random. You know, it just seems very, very random because other times it plays for hours and other times it literally crashes after 5 minutes. I don't really understand it. But anyway, let's promote some units. Let's see what we can do, if I even have the opportunity, if I even have space. Yes, I do have some space to do that. Okay, that's wonderful. So, who's this guy? He is not capable. No, he is not very capable. Wow, we have so many people that can level up here. Actually, hilarious amounts of people. Yeah, most of these guys are not going to be that fantastic because they are not super high level or anything like that. We could technically get this guy. Yeah, I mean... The main problem is that I would like to get marksmen, but I have a bad feeling that I don't have that many of them anymore because they have, well, they've basically dwindled over the time that we've been playing because I haven't had the opportunity to go back and actually get them. But yeah, we can get this guy. And maybe this one? Yeah, there we go. Okay, got 2 people. Fantastic. Kamezo. Okay, yeah. So he is going to be the new guy. He's going to be the new guy that takes Sakai from us. And where is he? There he is. Let's speak to him. Immediately give him the ability to become a vassal. And there we go. Yes, he is going to have that. Do I even have enough influence, by the way? I actually don't remember. Okay, so we're going to be calling him... I have no clue, actually. I guess that. There we go. Wonderful. Okay, so that is wonderful. That is great. We've got another vassal. That means that we are going to be having a much better time of things, at least in the long run. Unfortunately, early on, he's going to be a little bit weak. And as you see here, we now have a peace proposal from the Miyoshi, which is absolutely fantastic. So now we can... Oh, they're actually going to be giving us the castle back too. Okay, yeah, you know what? I'm actually going to accept this just purely because we have taken one of their towns. And I think that sounds like the best course of action here for us. As well as the fact that we can now... Oh, yeah, I can't even do that right now. I was kind of hoping to give this guy the new castle. Now that we are in the peace era, we're actually now seeing that our child has advanced to the age when she actually will be able to become a vassal herself, which is actually kind of hilarious. I'm not entirely sure how that's even going to go, but, well, I guess we'll see. There you go. All right, what did that actually do? Yeah, it seems like she is her own person now. As you can see, she is her own person. She is staying at Sadawara, hilariously enough, all the way back there. And, yeah, look. Is it just me, or are her stats really, really bad? Are they supposed to be this bad? I'm actually not sure. I am actually not sure about that, but yeah. Anyway, we're gonna obviously just restore ourselves here a little bit, and indeed we are probably, as you can see, this is what we currently have going on here. I would like to technically declare war against the Mori again, because they are, they're probably the next best thing, apart from the Miyoshi, to be honest. How close are we to the next clan tier level, by the way? Yes, there you go. We are... not that far, actually. 450. Not actually that bad. Pretty close. Well, look at that. As luck would have it, the Mori have declared war against us just as I was making my way over into their territory. Because I thought to myself, okay, you know what? If I'm gonna do it, you know, then that's pretty cool, right? But if they do it, then, well, maybe they're gonna catch us unawares. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go over to the town, I'm going to purchase all their food and stuff like that, you know, just try to prepare for a decent initial assault. Well, unfortunately, that is not the case. We're going to have this this wonderful situation that we have right here, and we're going to see what the enemy decides to do, because obviously they are... Okay, where are you going? Where are they actually going right now? They're doing some weird stuff. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Well, auto-delegate it is then. Yeah, I'm not gonna mince words here, or should we say, I'm not gonna hesitate, because we are just going to go straight at them. These guys are doing weird things. I actually don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, let's actually see if I can get to 250 in guns. I am almost there, as you can see. I have 244, which is pretty nice. Not too bad. And if I can just get a couple of extra kills on some samurai units, I'll be pretty happy with that. Oh yeah, by the way, this is my new horse. Obviously, as I talked about before, this is really strong. It does a load more damage in terms of charge, and it also has an extreme amount of speed. It's much better in regards to speed, and as you can quite clearly tell, I can just absolutely ride through everyone here and absolutely murder them. Super fun to do that. And indeed, they don't have much. They can't do much. They can't do much against us. And indeed, this is the enemy right here. This is, I believe this is actually the lord of the, well, shall we say the leader of the enemy forces. So that's quite funny in itself, that we're able to eliminate him so incredibly easily. And now we have these fellows attempting to do something, but they're probably not going to have a very good time, as you can see. And I'm gonna tell everyone to charge. I'm just going to tell everyone to charge in here. There is no reason to hold back, as we do have a huge amount of cavalry as well. Just bear that in mind. Our cavalry forces are actually quite good. We do have a lot of archers, though, obviously. A lot more archers than we have of anything else, because that is primarily what you're going to have, in my opinion at least. If you know what you're doing, you're probably going to be having quite a few archers, because, let's face it, there are no shields in the mod. There are no shields, so you might as well take advantage of that and try to maximize enemy casualties as much as possible. Obviously, you don't need them. You know, they're not super required or anything like that, but, you know, this is exactly what you're going to get if you do have them. You're literally going to get 0 casualties here. And that's just purely because, obviously, we have a much greater ability of our troops. You know, we have a much higher people, you know, much higher level people and all that stuff. And then, obviously, we have, you know, more people in general, because this guy decided to, you know, go along the same road that we were going, and it was just bad luck on his part, I suppose. Yes, he got kind of unlucky there. But anyway, okay, so I was actually on my way to Iwami here. I was actually going to go over there, but you know what? I'm going to go back to Okayama because, well, actually, you know what? First of all, I'm going to call for an army of... Oh. Well, unfortunately, they called for an army way too fast. That was way too quick for me. I'm going to call for Yajiro and this guy, even though that's not really going to give me that much. It's only going to give me an army of about 600, which is really very little. But it's better than nothing, and I can only hope that my vassals are going to be doing a great job with their army, because they've called for one that is very clearly much stronger. They have literally 2,000 people. Can you imagine having an army of 2,000 people? That's crazy. Anyway, this is only 5 days, and we should have a pretty easy time of starving them out. We need to, because they have a garrison of 600. Alright, so you know what? I'm actually not going to wait for the food situation anymore, because we now have the help of our wonderful vassal army. For some reason, I don't know why they turned up here, but they were kind enough to do so, and so we are going to reward them with some bravery here. And I'm not gonna starve out the garrison. So this is gonna be extremely tough, or at least it should be. I think it's probably gonna be pretty harsh. Let's see how we do. As I said to you before, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play super cowardly. That's generally how you're going to have to play if you want to survive. Otherwise, these random shots to the face are really going to spell your doom, which is super sad, but you know, that's just how things are. Obviously, if you don't want that to happen, you're going to have to play on lower difficulty or something like that, and then, you know, well, that's a whole different thing. But it doesn't really matter as it is. I'm just going to try to reload here. Get that guy out of the way. And we are losing a lot of people right now. Why are we losing so many people? Why are we losing so many people? I'm actually a bit shocked. We do outnumber the opponent, though. Just bear that in mind. We do outnumber them dramatically. So, very surprising that we're losing so many, though. Okay. Bit weird. Let's just hope that there aren't any gunners here. Nope, no gunners. Okay, good. If there were... Oh, no, wait. There is a gunner here. Is he dead? Oh, no, that was ours. Okay, never mind. Okay. So... now we can just be a little bit chill, because we don't really need to worry too much about being super fast to get over here, but I am very worried by the ratio at the moment, because we can, as you can see, we've lost, you know, basically double the amount of troops that the enemy has, and the enemy is in a defensive formation. Obviously, they have the ability to defend pretty dramatically here. Getting shot in the face from all the way over there. Not exactly good luck, but there you go. That happens. Wow. Yeah, they actually have a lot more... for some reason, there's no people here. Well, what's actually going on with that? Oh, well. I guess that happens. I don't know. Very strange. Usually there are a huge amount of enemies here, but this time around, they are nowhere to be seen. Very surprising. Also, I'm trying to hit the gate, but I don't know why it doesn't seem to really register my hits. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Okay, we're just going to ignore those guys on the left this time around. Is there a gunner here that's going to shoot me? Not a gunner, but there are archers. I'm gonna have to get out of here. At least until my forces get over there. Yeah, maybe. Okay, yeah, there we go. The gate is down, Let's do this. Let's go straight on in. Now let's just hope that they don't do that AI thing that they tend to do where they, you know, turn around and shoot you in the face instantaneously. No, it doesn't seem like it. Okay, we're getting pretty lucky here. Ah, there we go. You see exactly what I'm talking about, though. AI, they're very, very good at doing those headshots. Very, very good at doing those headshots. And they are patient. They are very, very patient. And that can make a huge difference. As you can see, I was actually only able to get 67 kills. And the enemy is still winning in terms of ratio right now. Which is very, very bad. Considering our forces should technically be a lot better than the opponent, that is not very good. We are getting some really, really good ratios sometimes, but they are still winning by about 50 kills, which is not great. We really do need to start winning the ratio here. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be the case. We seem to be having big, big issues in that regard. And oh, that was a good amount of slaughter right there. Yeah, no, we're starting to catch up. This is great. Okay, here we go. Maybe we'll be okay. Maybe we'll actually be okay. I mean, that's the funny thing. as I say, enemy archers, I don't know whether you've seen that. I mean, it's enough for me to tell you, I think, but obviously if you haven't seen it with your own eyes, then maybe it's going to be unbelievable for me to say it. But the enemy AI, when it comes to archers and gunners, they're very insidious. They're very insidious with how they act. Their behavior is very insidious, as in they wait until you get close to them, so you cannot possibly dodge, and then they will shoot you right in the face. And they do that almost every single time. And that's the reason why we take so much damage all those times. Otherwise, I could just run back and forth and over again, and we could try to dodge that way, but that is obviously a different thing altogether, you know. Anyway, we are seemingly, I think, going to be achieving victory here. Yes, indeed, there it is. We finally hit the 1,000 kill mark, and indeed the enemy is now eliminated. I'm actually very surprised that we were... I'm very surprised that we died so early on, to be honest. It would have been absolutely exceptional. Oh! One of the... Is that one of ours? No, it isn't. That is an enemy vassal right there. That is an enemy vassal dying on the... On the battlefield. Very, very strange. I didn't actually see that, but all right, okay. I guess that isn't too, too surprising. But yeah, anyway, let's just do this. Okay, wonderful. And we basically lost no one. Our forces were the ones to mostly lose people. At least not our forces, but the Allied army is the one that mostly lost people, which is really not that big a deal. That should be absolutely fine. And yeah, we're just going to show mercy. I'm going to claim the fief, because obviously what I'm going to do is I'm going to be giving this to another companion, and that's going to enable us to create yet another vassal. So this is going to be great. Hopefully we're going to be doing that in just a second. Who is it again? Is it this guy? Is it actually this guy? I think it is, right? Yes, I think so. I think it is this guy. So, yeah. Hello there, sir. You will get Okayama. Yes, indeed. There we go. I have no idea. I have no idea what to call him. I'm just randomly naming people now. Pretty much. I have no connection to any of these names that I'm coming up with here. Okay, so there we go. Not a bad victory, but also not a terribly good one. Unfortunately, I was very much hoping that we'd be able to survive and actually get huge numbers of kills. But as I say, it is very, very likely that the player character will die in those kinds of situations, just because you are indeed by yourself most of the time. And if you're not super hyper aware of everything going on around you, you're eventually going to get singled out and shot in the face like I did. But anyway, that is going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.